The reality is he's lost 6 of 7 games to Edmonton, and we gave up 2 goals on 2 shots. That is what Pete DeBoer had to say about Jake Oettinger in Game 5 against the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I'm going to walk you through what happened on those 2 goals off of 2 shots. Goal number 1, Corey Perry scored wide open in front of the net on a power play to make it 1-0 early on in the game. Keep in mind, they were on the power play. They're up 5 men on 4.
Yeah.
But he was wide open in front of the net. Now, the goal kind of squeaked through him, but it wasn't like awful.
Yeah.
Right? Second goal, Matthias Janmark on a breakaway to make it 2-0. Oettinger was pulled, Casey DeSmith, and let in 3 goals on the next 20 shots to lose 6-3. Getting bounced in the third round for the 3rd year in a row in the conference finals. Just cannot make it over the hump. I don't think they've won more than 5 games in any of them. They might have won to 6 2 years ago. I need to double check that. I'm probably wrong. But
regardless, I mean,
it's just embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, and to throw your goalie under the bus like that is wild.
I agree.
Especially when you, the coach, have not proven any. The last time he was in the finals was with the Sharks.
Yep.
Which, shout out these shirts, Mac Attack. Go buy them online. But, yeah, the last time he was in the finals was with the Sharks, and he has not made it past the 3rd round. He's made it to the 3rd round the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8 years. I guess 6 out of 8 years if you count this year. And is always losing in the 3rd round. And, I mean, it's tough, too, because it's Dallas always has a good squad.
Yeah.
They went into this playoffs. Granted, they played the Avalanche first round. So I was kind of I like the Avs more than I like the Stars at that point, the first round. But after that, the Stars looked amazing, and I was like, they can definitely beat the Oilers. Then it's just a matter of beating the team in the East, which we all kind of figured was going to be the Panthers. But yeah, I mean, Game 1, the Stars played great, beat the Oilers. McDavid and Draisaitl gave that look, and I think everyone knew that. See, the series was over, that they were going to take it back. Oilers were, but. I mean, yeah, it's tough because it's I don't know what's missing for the Stars.
Yep.
If it's just a leadership thing. My first finger I would point at is head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough because the Stars have made a good run. They made what is it? I want to say in the bubble year they went to the finals against the Lightning, one of the first times. And evidently they beat the Knights in the 3rd round, which was when Pete DeBoer was coaching the Knights.
Yep. So just to put this into perspective, he has gone deep in the playoffs. He has made it to the 3rd round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 8 seasons. They've advanced past the 2nd round, whatever team he was coaching, every year but 2 that he has been coaching for. The thing is, he's never coached a team to win the Stanley Cup. He repeatedly coaches teams that go deep in the playoffs and then fall apart in the latter rounds, right?
Oh, wait, hold on. We're doing the math wrong. Because from how I have it pulled up, he's made it the last 6 of 7 years. Because in 2018-19, the Sharks lost to the Blues, round 3.
Yeah.
2020, he got fired by the Sharks, picked up by the Knights. He lost in round 3.
Oh, yeah.
2020, 2021, lost in round 3. He only missed the playoffs 2021, 2022. And that was after he then got fired and picked up by the Stars. So he's been consistently to the 3rd round the last
6 of the last 7 years.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I was missing that wrong. Shout out to Hockey Reference for having his 0-0 coaching record in 1920 for the Sharks. But either way, I just find that really interesting. You're consistently coaching teams that make it deep, but you're not going anywhere once you make it deep into the playoffs.
Right.
And that kind of shows at some point there's a common denominator here, right? You have all these fantastic teams that you've coached over the years.
Yeah.
The 2018-19 Sharks really, and the 15-16 Sharks, that whole kind of era of Sharks hockey, you had a nasty core of players, right?
Yeah.
And never got over the hump. You go to Vegas, where you have, again, a nasty core of players, never get over the hump, and I think Vegas won the cup 2 years later. It's 22-23.
Yes.
With basically, a similar roster. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they did change around a bit, but not the exact same. But still, couldn't get over the hump of that team. Now you have Dallas 3 years in a row. Dallas has probably been the deepest, most complete hockey team in the playoffs for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And they're consistently falling apart deep in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's just questionable. You're sitting here telling Jake Oettinger he's not good enough, right? When you have a career playoff history, you're 97-82 for a .554 winning percentage, right? With the best teams in the NHL at the period of time that you're coaching them. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not good enough at the end of the day. You know the Connor McDavid thing from last year's Cup Finals where he's screaming it's not good enough? Yeah. That's what it is. Pete DeBoer, fix it.
Yeah. No, it's true. And it's almost like a curse at this point for him, it seems like.
Yeah.
And it's tough, too, because he's a great coach. Like, you don't get a team to the third round for nothing.
No.
Right? But, there's something to be said about, and playoff hockey is different than the regular season, but the third round, I don't know what it is with him and how he just can't put a team together or rally a team to make it past the third round.
Yeah.
Since, frankly, it was almost 10 years ago now with the Sharks, which is crazy to think about that was 10 years ago they made the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah.
9. But coming up on 10 years when you haven't made the Stanley Cup Final, but you've made the third round almost every year since then. Paul Maurice, I was looking at his. Obviously, he's got a ring, and he lost in the finals the year before that. But prior to that, he was always never really... prior to the 2023 season when the Panthers lost to the Knights, he hadn't made the Stanley Cup Finals since 2002.
Yeah.
And, I don't think... He obviously didn't have 6 of 7 years going to round 3, but he was kind of looked at as not a great coach.
He was a great regular season coach.
Yeah. He was coaching the Jets throughout the 2010s and did fine, but didn't make it to the playoffs, and then finally gets to the Panthers. First year with the Panthers, actually, gets all the way to the finals and then wins a cup. They're now 3 times in the Stanley Cup Finals with him.
Yeah.
So it's tough because it's it just takes one. And Pete DeBoer's still pretty young. How old is he?
56. That's pretty young for coaching terms.
Right.
Mike Babcock's 97 years old.
Paul Maurice is 58. So I guess, they're pretty close in age. And Paul Maurice has more at this point in his career.
Yeah.
With that age. But yeah, it's so tough because when you have a coach that's doing well, it's like the Leafs.
Yeah.
You have these coaches that can get these guys a great regular season.
Yeah.
But then they can't do anything in the playoffs. And is it really Pete DeBoer's fault or is it the players' faults? And I would say for the Stars, I don't know that you could point fingers at the players quite yet. But if you change coaches next year and this happens again, then yeah, maybe. But
I just find it insane to call out your young. He's 20. Jake Oettinger's 26. Your young superstar goalie, who's primed to be one of the best goalies in the NHL for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
he already is one of the best goalies in the NHL, and he's primed to be the best goalie in the NHL for the next 10 seasons.
Yeah,
to call him out and throw him under the bus and say you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Is insane.
Yeah.
I think the Stars would be crazy to bring him back next year. He's been a starting goalie for 4 seasons, and he's got 65 games played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's a lot of games for Jake Oettinger.
Too, yeah.
We always talk about how, there's the cup hangover. You play a lot of hockey. We talked about Tampa getting tired after so many years going back to the finals. Florida getting tired after 3 years going back to the finals, right? Pete people always talk about that as a cup hangover and all that. Jake Oettinger's played 65 playoff games on top of, 60 in the regular season for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hockey for a goalie.
Yeah.
You're starting 80 something games a year.
Yeah.
And
after playoffs,
he's been a workhorse for them. He's been fantastic for the Stars.
Yeah.
To call him out is nuts.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I don't get why you would feasibly do that. That makes no sense to me.
I get the risk he was taking in pulling him and being like, like this is a win, like do or die game.
Yeah.
We're going to risk it. It didn't pay off. But then at least admit that in media afterwards and be like, I had to do something. Like we weren't winning. We've lost they lost 4 straight games after that. And it's like, clearly something needs to change. And I'd get that. But then to double down and be like, well, it's his fault. Like,
2 goals is a short leash too.
Yeah.
For goalies. That is a short leash. I get it's on 2 shots, but you're talking, if it's Stuart Skinner, that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Right. But you're talking about Jake Oettinger. He was coming off of his best game played in the conference finals. In game 4, he had 31 saves off of 29 saves off of 31 shots against, 935 save percentage. They lost that game, but he only let in 2 goals.
Yeah.
Right? He's coming off the best game he's played in this conference final.
Yes.
And to pull him after 2 goals is kind of nuts. I get it's off 2 shots, but like that's your starting goalie. That's a top 3 goalie in the NHL right now. He was Vezina finalist last season.
Yeah.
And he played fantastic this year.
Yeah.
He's been great in the playoffs so far. I don't get what that thought process. I understand he had to do something.
Yeah.
And he even mentioned it, when you pull a goalie, it's to try and spark your squad, right? It's trying to spark your team.
Yeah.
Change something up because clearly something ain't working. But he got pulled 7 minutes into the game with 2 shots against.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they were playing awful.
Okay, this too.
It's just, that was insane to me.
So, game 1, Stars versus Oilers, 6-3 Stars.
Yep.
Great game for the Stars. After that, game 2, 3-0 Oilers.
Shutout.
0 offense for the Stars.
Yep.
Game 3, 6-1 Oilers. Game 4, 4-1 Oilers. And game 5, 6-3. So,
yeah.
Do you really want to point the finger at your goalie who, you let in 3 goals against Skinner's letting in 0? Sure, we'll give out. But it's like, why isn't the Stars offense doing anything?
You scored 2 goals in 3 games.
Right.
That's a problem.
Right. And I don't remember exactly if these 6-1, 4-1, I'm sure there were some empty nets there.
The 4-1, there were 2 empty netters.
Okay. So is it?
And the 6-1, those were all let in by Jake Oettinger.
Yeah. I think, I don't think he got pulled that game, no.
I don't think so.
No.
Either way, it's just, you're scoring 1 goal a game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Less than a goal a game through games 2 through 4.
Yeah.
And your offense finally starts to show up in game 5, score 3 goals.
Too late.
It's too little too late.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, if you're getting quality goaltending where your goalie is letting 2 goals in on a night, you should win that game.
Yeah.
You should not be scoring 1 goal and just rolling over, right? Yes, you're playing the Edmonton Oilers with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, but like, this just seems very Dallas fall aparty. I remember when they played the Vegas Golden Knights in the conference final. That would have been 3 years ago now. 2 or 3 years ago, I forget. The year that they beat Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That team just collapsed. I don't know if you remember. I think it was game 5 of that series. Jamie Benn got suspended.
Yeah.
There was like all that crap about players getting suspended, and you can't let your team.
This is the
apart.
Tampa series?
This is Dallas versus Vegas.
Oh, yes.
When Vegas beat them in the conference finals, and Dallas just completely collapsed. And I feel like last season was the same type of thing, where they just collapsed against Edmonton. Like, they were such a monster in the first couple rounds of the playoffs, and they fall apart in round 3. And now you have this again where you start off hot, right? You win your first game 6-3, you put in 6 past Skinner.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's how you should be playing against Stuart Skinner every time.
Yeah.
Every game.
Yeah.
And then you collapse. And I don't think it can all be pinned on Jake Oettinger. I think it's ridiculous to pin it on a single player.
Yeah.
It's more of like a whole team culture kind of thing where we can't mentally withstand round 3.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the coach.
Yeah.
Because who creates the team culture? It's down to coach and management.
True. Yeah, that was fair.
So.
Yeah, I think, and like we said, like, I think it's also like, it's the Oilers and maybe resident company included. Is that what it's called?
I have no idea.
Us, we've made fun of the Oilers and said that they're a fake playoff team.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're very legit. I thought round 1 was kind of like, oh, it's same old Oilers stuff where they're not going to get past.
Yeah.
You know, I thought last year was maybe just a lucky year for them, but clearly they're doing something right. And they're making it past into the Stanley Cup final yet again.
Mm-hmm.
And is it the Stars' fault? Like, you think of the East and Carolina, anyone else, it's like, is it really their fault, or is it that Florida just made an even better team than all of you guys in the last 3 years? Because they have. They made it to the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row now, which the state of Florida has also had, what is it, 5 of the last
6.
6 years. The last 6 years
They made it to the Cup Finals 6 years. They've won 3 of those 6 cups, with Florida having the opportunity to make it 4.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, which is crazy. And Florida's a hockey state now.
Florida is a hockey state.
Yeah, but again, it's like, is it the Stars' fault, or is it the Oilers just being so good? I don't know. I think it's more of a case for the Panthers in the Eastern Conference being like, oh, we can't get to the Stanley Cup final. Well, it's like, well, you got the Florida Panthers going through everyone.
Yeah.
If it was like different teams the last 3 years, like, yeah, you could point fingers at the Hurricanes or Rod Brindamore, stuff like that. But I just don't know that the West is like that, though, for the Oilers.
One more thing on Pete DeBoer before we get completely off this topic. There is a great comparison here between what is happening right now with Jake Oettinger and the Dallas Stars and what happened in the Stanley Cup Finals with Vegas and the Panthers, where Bob frankly completely fell apart that series.
Yeah.
Let in 9 goals in the clinching game.
Yeah.
Right? And it was not, I think he let in 7 and they got yanked. Not a good look for Sergei Bobrovsky. At no point did Paul Maurice say, or it wasn't Paul Maurice at that time. Who was coaching? Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Sorry. At no point was Paul Maurice throwing Sergei Bobrovsky under the bus saying he wasn't good enough, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody, after you let in 6 goals off 24 shots, I think everybody's probably thinking he wasn't good enough. You let in 2 goals off your first 2 shots, everybody's already probably thinking that. Yeah. Something that does not need to be said.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of respect for your players. And this is why Paul Maurice tends to be really loved around the league by players, by fans, by other coaches, by everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Is he respects his players.
Yeah.
And he respects his team, right? Mm-hmm. You're not gonna sit here and go, oh well, Bob fucked that series for us. Oh well, Jake Oettinger fucked that series for us. It's such a bad look.
Yeah, no, it is. And they could I think that Florida year that I think we got robbed of a good Stanley Cup final because in 2023 because the Panthers were hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think Paul Maurice could, and who knows, maybe the Stars are injured right now. They probably are.
Yeah.
But Tkachuk was battling that broken sternum he had. Who else? I think Aaron Ekblad had a broken foot. He was playing through all these guys on the Panthers that year were just beat the hell up after trying to scratch their way to the finals. And then last year we saw what they did, but even then last year wasn't an easy win for the Panthers by any means. They almost blew a 3-0 lead, which was crazy.
Yeah. It's just insane
we'll see this
to
year.
me.
But yeah, I think
let's go back through that Florida Vegas, and obviously Bob kind of dragged them to that Cup final, so it's a little bit different. Yeah. But it's not like Jake Oettinger was getting helped along like Stuart Skinner in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs here.
Right.
Vegas beat the Panthers in Game 1 5-2, Game 2 7-2. Florida won in Game 3 in overtime 3-2. Vegas beat the Panthers 3-2. Game 4 and then 9-3 in Game 5.
Yeah. And that was just
not one time did you hear Paul Maurice go, he wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
I think Bobrovsky stayed in for the first 7 goals of that game.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's just insane to me that you would throw your player under the bus like he did.
Yeah. I think too, like, I mean, the Knights played great defensively that series, and there's no reason to throw Bobrovsky into the net when like your guys aren't stepping up.
Yeah.
And
same thing with Dallas right now.
Right. Exactly.
You score 2 goals in the middle 3 games of the series.
Yeah.
How are you blaming the goalie?
Yeah.
It's
Even
just
then, I mean, 2 through
ridiculous.
5, they scored. Yeah, they scored a goal per game. Games 2 through 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no,
it's like
1.2, 1.3, whatever.
It's just not enough.
No, not against the Oilers, who can put up 6 goals.
Yes, and will.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going to be lead into the finals now. This
Yeah.
is going to be a fantastic finals.
Yeah.
I'm super pumped for this.
No, I am too. I think it's going to be a great revenge series.
Yeah.
And one last thing about Pete, but I think he said that because he probably knows he's done.
Yeah.
And
Again.
he's just, he's just throwing him under the bus. But yeah, this final series I am super excited for. I think it'll be interesting to see because these are new. I mean, it's the same teams, but they're new teams.
Yeah.
I'll try to find all the new players that are in it, but like a couple like Seth Jones, Brad Marchand, Jeff Skinner,
Corey Perry.
No, he was there last year.
Was there last year.
Which he's a kryptonite too.
Jeff
in the Stanley Cup
Skinner.
final.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this series is going to be, I hope it's as electric as it was last year. I think it'll be tough to beat that
That was such a fun series.
just because of the comeback
Yep.
that failed. But still, like the back and forth, and like, I hope we get some good overtime games too, because I don't know. I mean, I think, again, anyone that's watched for a long time this show, I called it that the Panthers were going to win the Stanley Cup last year and this year. We'll see if it holds true this year.
Yep.
But the Oilers still do scare me because it is a revenge series. And I said this about Four Nations when the U.S. played Canada once again. It's tough to beat a team twice. And, you know, obviously it's a 7-game series. So you're not beating a team twice. You got to beat them 8 times. But to win a series twice in the Stanley Cup final, granted, the Oilers did that to the Stars this last 2 years, but it is tough to do.
They also done it to the Kings 4 years.
To the Kings. This is the Stanley Cup Finals, though. This is different. This is not the first round. This is you're established, and the cup is right at your fingertips.
Yep.
And I don't know. I mean, I still believe in the Panthers, and I think that they will win, but I'm not as confident as I was last year about it.
Yeah.
I think the Oilers, with Stuart Skinner playing well, I think is scary.
The thing about Stuart Skinner is you never know, and he could fall off a cliff.
Right.
Like he could have 4 just absolute stinkers of a game in a row.
And those are the games that the Panthers need to win when he
Yes.
stinks.
The Panthers are one of those teams. The Oilers are going. It really falls to how the Panthers are going to fare defensively against the Oilers, I think, because the Panthers are one of those teams. They are going to capitalize on their opportunities.
Right.
You give them an inch, they're taking a mile every single time.
Yes.
And they are making you pay for every single mistake you make. Mm-hmm. And the Oilers are a team that are prone to making defensive mistakes. Right. Bouchard has been fantastic offensively these playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hilarious how much of a switch he goes through when it goes from regular season to postseason.
Yeah.
How he's like seen as one of the worst defensive players in the NHL.
Yeah.
During the regular season, then he just turns it on. He's above a point per game for his postseason career.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And people say, oh, well, he plays with McDavid and Draisaitl. Well, he plays with them all season.
Yeah.
And he's not a point per game plus player in the regular season. But I think it really depends on how the Panthers can fare defensively against the Oilers. Like during the game, they're going to capitalize on their opportunities.
Right.
That's what they've been doing for the last 3 seasons. If they have another series like they had against Vegas, where they're just they can't fare defensively, whether it's the team is so beat down throughout the playoffs or what, Connor McDavid's going to get his points. But it's how much you can limit that, really, is what it is. So if they can win every game, 3-2, I'm sure they will be very happy. Obviously, they're going to be very happy. But it's if they can't keep more than, if they can't keep letting in less than 2 or 3 goals a game, that's when I think this Oilers team is just going to take over.
Yeah.
Also, I called Oilers in 5. Go back 2 podcasts. I don't know if
we did. Yeah.
My mind
weren't we trying to jinx them though?
Yes. But
because we'd been against them all year, and now we got it right.
It's just one of those things. My mind tells me the Panthers are going to stomp the Oilers again.
Yeah.
That's all my mind is telling me.
Looking at like hockey on paper, I'd say but then you
but it's the
factor
Oilers.
in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Like they just somehow make it work. I really cannot get it. I think Bob has been fantastic this playoffs. Obviously he's had shaky games, but what goalie doesn't?
Every goalie does.
Yeah. And he's 36 now. And he still looks like one of the greatest goalies of all time.
Yeah.
And that's, again, it's been a key factor for the Panthers their entire last 3 years is how on point is Bobrovsky, because the Panthers don't make a whole lot of mistakes on defense, but when they do, Bob saves their ass. And that's all you need.
This series is going to come down to how well Bob plays.
Yeah.
Because McDavid and Draisaitl are going to force you to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. That is how they're so effective. Their combination of speed and also slowing the game down at the same time, catching you out of position. That's how they become such effective players.
Yeah.
They're so dynamic together as they literally, when it comes to offense, they're capable of everything you could possibly imagine when it comes to beating you with outright speed, changing pace, like making smart, like slow plays almost, where it's like, you have McDavid streaking down the wing at full speed, then he drops it to Draisaitl, who's standing still at top, and he's going to hit Bouchard at full speed, skating down the slot.
Right.
It's a goal.
Yeah.
Like crap like that. If Bobrovsky can kind of shield the Panthers from that happening to them as much as he possibly can, I think the Panthers are going to win this series. That being said, if he can't, I don't think it's going to be close. I think Edmonton's winning it in 5.
Yeah.
5 or 6. Like, it's not going to be like it was last season. Although, frankly, for the first 3 games and for the game 7 of last year, it did not look close. The Panthers did a great job of kind of just protecting the house, scoring when they needed to score. I feel like the Panthers got beat so bad in game 7, but it was 2-1 because they just
played better.
Didn't allow McDavid or Draisaitl to score goals. It was interesting.
No, it was. And I think
Draisaitl scored in that game, but
McDavid's though, McDavid's the one we're going to point at. But I think for the Oilers have home ice advantage to this series, which was different than last year.
Yeah.
And not that, I don't want to hate on people, like to give crap to the Panthers fans or how it's not electric there. I don't know. The games I've seen on TV, especially Stanley Cup Final, that place
Miami,
was
it's party.
Rocking. Like
Sunrise, but
still.
It's a party.
It's a party, yeah. And they're all rocking there and it's loud. Obviously not nearly as loud as Edmonton will be. But the Panthers still stole games. They only stole 1 game.
I think they're the best road team in these playoffs.
Panthers,
if I remember correctly.
I agree. Yeah, because I think, even Lightning went up 2-0, right?
Yeah.
They went up 2-0, and then, or was it the Leafs?
No, the Leafs went up 2-0.
Yeah, and then that was at home. I know the Panthers have, they've been great on the road in the playoffs, and I feel like they have for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Obviously not including the Stanley Cup Final 2023, but outside of that, they've played great away, and it's really not a thing for them to be. They're not too worried about not having home ice advantage, I don't think. I think it does get a little scary for Game 7 if you're playing in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Because that's do or die, and you're in Edmonton. But again, this Panthers team is just shown that does not really affect them at all.
Nothing affects that. They're the craziest team.
Yeah.
They're so entertaining. It's I've always kind of admired the last few seasons. I've really admired how they're one of those teams that like I don't give a shit what you think about me.
I don't give a heck.
I don't give a heck. I didn't want to say the F word.
No.
They're like, I don't care what you think about me. We're gonna piss you off and then beat you really badly.
Yeah.
And this is kind of lining up to be one of those series where Bobrovsky has 3 shutouts and just takes over the game.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have Matthew Tkachuk scoring the game winner in the last minute, just getting off the ice. Like, this is how I feel about this. Like,
yeah.
There's so much kind of built up around. I don't know if you saw the posts on Instagram and on Facebook about how Wayne Gretzky in his first Cup final appearance lost to the Islanders, and then the next year ran it back against the Islanders and won for his first Stanley Cup. Sid obviously in 08-09, then 07-08, then 08-09 against the Red Wings. He lost to the Wings and then ran it back and won a cup in 08-09. And I've seen a lot about that with Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
How lost to Florida last year and now he's running it back again. And I think it'd be really funny to just watch Matthew Tkachuk kind of, whip it out on him in like 4 games, something like that.
Yeah.
I just, these Panthers, they're so good.
They are.
And they're so good at what they do specifically.
Yeah.
There's no better team at pissing everybody off. They've become probably, I think they've overtaken the Knights as the least liked team in the NHL.
I agree.
In the last year and a half alone.
Yeah. I think when they played the Knights, everyone wanted them to win.
Yeah.
I think then, even last year, people were like, it was kind of a U.S. versus Canada thing.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit more just like, we want to see McDavid win, which frankly, I don't give a shit. Like, if McDavid's that good, which he is, he's amazing.
He's going to win a cup.
He's going to win a cup.
Doesn't need to win it with Edmonton.
He doesn't.
Can have something.
Get out of there.
Get traded to the Kings or something.
Yeah, that's the thing too. People are like, oh, the Panthers have had plenty of cups. Blah, blah. I'm like, no, they haven't. They've had one last year. And I know that they've been back to the Stanley Cup final. The Oilers have plenty of cups in their past.
Yeah.
And frankly, as Americans, we want to keep the cup in the U.S. because this is all we have at this point.
Yeah.
We lost 4 nations. We still have the cup, though.
IHF. Canada got bounced in the quarters or something.
True. We did win gold.
U.S. won gold for the first time since 1933.
I know, and that was very impressive.
That's
and
nuts.
I love Warsofsky for winning that
Ryan
for the U.S.
Warsofsky, Will Smith.
Future Stanley Cup coach.
Future
right there.
Stanley Cup coach.
Yeah. Culture's
Calling it now.
dialed. Yeah.
25-26. Oh, never mind.
No.
Maybe not that.
2028, 2027, maybe.
No,
Around those years.
Next year.
But yeah, I think, the U.S., this is all we have. And if we win gold next year at the Olympics, I'll be happy to give the cup back because then it's like, okay, we got that. But we lost 4 nations. And this is the last thing we can hold on to be like, because we're the little brothers. U.S. is the little brother to Canada. Obviously, Canada has plenty of Canadian players who have won the Stanley Cup, obviously. But it's the fans, us, you and me.
Yeah.
The ones that, we can hold it that no Canadian fan has a Stanley Cup unless you're in Canada rooting for the Avalanche or whatever, which I don't think you are. But it's the last thing we have that we can hold on to.
Yeah.
And that's why I want the Panthers to win. But yeah, it's going to be a tough series for them, and I think it'll be an amazing series regardless. And even if it is a 4-0 sweep by the Panthers, I don't think it will be.
Yep.
If it is a sweep, it's going to be... I mean, it could be... If they sweep them, I think it might just be a dog walk. I was going to say it'd be a competitive sweep, but I don't know. If they're able to pull off a sweep, I don't think it's going to be competitive.
You're talking about the Panthers pulling off a sweep.
Sweep.
It's going to be probably a very Panthers sweep where they're just, they get 15 shots on goal, bury 5 of them. The Oilers have 40 shots on net every game.
Yeah.
Bob's just, he's shutting everything out.
Yeah. Which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think
it will be.
I would say Panthers in 6.
For the sake of hockey, I hope this goes 7.
Yeah, I agree.
That it is always the pinnacle of sports when you have a Game 7 Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
It's the best atmosphere. It's the most. It's going to be the most competitive sporting event you see.
Yes.
It's more competitive than 99.9% of Super Bowls. It's going to be fantastic, especially this team with the history that they have behind them.
Yeah.
With what happened last year in the Cup Finals. I think it would be a crime if this series has ended in 4 games.
Yeah, I agree.
I would honestly be pretty pissed, no matter how it goes. I want the Panthers to win.
Yeah.
That being said, Oilers in 5. It's not going to be close.
Really? You think Oilers are going to win in 5?
I think so.
Wow.
Somehow Stuart Skinner's going to pull some shit out of his ass where he's, the best goalie in the NHL. He won't let in a goal in 4 games.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is going to be close. I think the Oilers are taking it in 5. Connor McDavid's lifting his first cup. It makes me very sad because I want the Panthers to win, but...
You guys heard it here first. The Panthers are winning because Alan just jinxed them.
I keep hating on the Oilers, and they keep proving me wrong. I want to stop looking like an idiot on the internet. Like there's no reason to root against them at this point because they're just going to prove you wrong.
Yeah, no, it's fair,
and it pisses me off because I hate the Oilers. They've lost 2 out of the last 10 games.
Yeah,
Stuart Skinner is somehow the greatest goalie in the NHL.
Yeah.
I don't get it. He has 6 wins and 3 of them are shutouts. That makes no sense. It's Stuart fucking Skinner. But I'm done saying that the Oilers are going to get dog walked. I think the Panthers are going to get mollywopped. This series is 5 games maybe, which sucks because I think it's going to be a crime. But I think the Oilers are going to win.
Cool. All right,
Cup's
Panthers
going
won
back
the cup.
to Canada.
Panthers won the cup. Alan just fucking jinxed them. No, I really, my prediction is based off of my heart, not my head, because my head tells me a million things. And the Oilers are a great team. Panthers are a great team. And, Stuart Skinner does look great, but like you said, if he falls apart, there's just so many factors in predicting.
Logically, the Panthers win this series 10 times out of 10.
Right.
But it's the Edmonton Oilers, and they have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and they're both playing really well.
And they're hungry.
So that being said, the Oilers are going to win.
Yeah.
It's just how it works.
No, it's true.
I don't make the rules. It's just,
yeah.
They show it year in and year out where this isn't a competitive team, and then they go really deep in the playoffs. It makes no sense.
No. I don't get it.
But you look at all of the teams out of the West at the start of this, saying the Oilers make it out of it. Yeah, it makes sense because they went there last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know what the team is capable of when they're playing well. But then you factor in Stuart Skinner didn't start 6 games.
Yeah.
Because he was playing atrociously against the Kings.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. That being said, I do think it's going to be interesting because I feel like the Panthers and the Kings kind of play pretty similarly.
Yeah.
Where they're both those teams where they will make you pay off of your mistakes, and they're going to score goals when you make mistakes, and you will make mistakes playing against them.
Yeah.
And the Panthers kind of really heavily remind me of the Kings in that kind of sense, but they're way better at it than them because they also have the goaltending to back it up and the defense to back it up, right? It's the Kings kind of tend to skate through the regular season, getting 15 shots on net and, scoring 5 goals. The Panthers kind of remind me of that a lot, but they also have the defense to where they can withstand, taking 40 shots in a game and somehow squeaking out a 5-3 win. Mm-hmm. But it's the Edmonton Oilers, so they're winning.
Yeah.
It's got to make the rules. Just how it is.
Fair. I mean, I don't disagree with you in this series can truly go either way.
Yeah.
I don't see it being a one-way thing, and a lot of people ask, prediction, what's everyone's prediction for the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah.
And there's no wrong answer. Mm-hmm. There's a wrong answer when the series is done, but when you go back and you look at it, you're like, well, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
This game is a game of inches and bounces and knocks and, all that stuff. So who knows?
I have a feeling the series is going to it's going to be a close series, but it's going to look like a blowout. I feel like every single game is going to be 6-2.
Yeah.
Some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll go both ways.
Yeah.
Oilers in 5 might be a little aggressive in my opinion. Probably Oilers in 6 is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be the Panthers will win 7-1, and then the Oilers will win 6-2. And it'll be a 6-4 game and shit like that, where it's it looks like it's not close, but really it is.
Right.
But yeah, it's I'm done betting against the Oilers. I'm done losing money.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you because it's not, you're not wrong on that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. The only way to know is this podcast coming out Wednesday tonight. So you guys got to watch the game.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. We'll do a check-in next week, which will probably be the halfway point. It's lining up pretty perfectly right now, which honestly brings me to a point here. Let's see the schedule for the Stanley Cup Final.
They play Wednesday, Friday, Monday for Game 3.
So game 1, June 4th. Game 2, June 6th. And then we'll have a 2-day break for Game 3, June 9th. Another 3-day game break. Damn, they play Monday, June 9th, then Thursday, June 12th, then Saturday, June 14th. Just kind of a weird break that they take. It could be NBA Finals timing too, but
Probably.
and then they play June 17th if necessary. Game 6. Game 7 would be June 20th, and the NHL draft is June 27th. So again, like I remember my mom's birthday is tomorrow, June 3rd, and I remember 10 years ago, the Stanley Cup Final was always like on her birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and like the team could be lifting a cup like on her birthday. So this, I don't know what's pushed it back so far. If it's just the scheduling, maybe is it the regular season ends at the same time? I feel like it usually has.
Yeah, at the end of middle of April.
Yeah,
Really,
and maybe it's
man.
just this big break in between, like because they could have started realistically. They could have started this weekend.
Yeah.
Game 1.
I wonder if there's the extra time just because of the travel.
Yeah,
Like they are pretty far apart teams, and not the furthest. I believe the furthest apart teams are Vancouver and Edmonton, or Vancouver and Florida. I could be way off on that.
No, it's still a long trip.
I think
'cause I remember talking about it last year that
It is
this
a
is
long flight,
travel. Yeah,
and I wonder because I don't remember there being 3-day breaks in between games last season. So I almost wonder if they like kind of realized, oh shit, this is a lot, right?
Yeah.
From last, but I don't know. I do not know.
So in between, so for next episode, we'll have a Monday night. We'll probably have to film on Tuesday and go Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because then that'll be game 4 on Thursday. And then again, we could have one more episode breaking down. We'll basically have like 3 games to break down.
Yep.
And yeah, again, I'm super excited. I think this will be just a fantastic series.
I hope so.
I really do. And I think for the game of hockey too, because all you guys clicking on this video, watching about hockey, clearly you guys care about hockey more than basketball. Maybe you don't, but the Stanley Cup Finals are so much better than the NBA Finals.
Yep.
Like just playoffs in general. Don't get me wrong, I love basketball, but hockey is just, it's the greatest sport. And I don't know. I mean, I don't even know who plays in the NBA Finals this year. Is it the Pacers? And I know it's the Pacers. Good for them. And someone else who's on the West? Oh, the Thunder. 2 new teams we've never seen in the finals. But
yeah,
regardless, I think this will be a fantastic series. It's a what's it called rematch, and yeah, I'm excited. But do you have anything else on the Stanley Cup Finals?
Not really. The only thing is if you're not a hockey fan, you're just getting into it. Say you're a big basketball fan, you're bored one night that there's no basketball going on, tune into one of these games.
Yeah.
If you take one piece of advice or one thing I say to heart, it is tune into one of these games because this is going to be a fantastic series.
Yeah.
It should be. There's no reason that it shouldn't be. It's a rematch of last year, which is always awesome. It's always it's always fun seeing rematches. Mm-hmm. You got the defending Stanley Cup champs playing the team they beat last year, and it was an insane series last year. Extremely close, extremely fun games. The storylines behind it were fantastic last season.
It's Connor McDavid. It
just means it's going to be better this year.
For any basketball heads, this is the comparison. This is effectively LeBron James trying to win a Stanley Cup or NBA Finals, Larry O'Brien trophy. This is LeBron James trying to win a
2017 Finals LeBron James.
No, this is
Against
like
the
LeBron.
Warriors.
This is like, I mean, I guess LeBron left, but this is like LeBron in Cleveland the first time trying to win, and he just can't.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can do it. If he doesn't, he might leave next year. Who knows? But this is what you're witnessing. It's not, I mean, NBA right now, they're not big superstars playing. I mean, kind of are. Halliburton and what's his name? Shai SGA. But this is different. This is the best player in the NHL trying to win a Stanley Cup yet again, and he's facing the same team.
Mm-hmm.
So again, yeah, this is amazing series to watch. But yeah. All right, Alan, I've got a game for you.
Let's hear it.
This is not a blind ranking. This is a
goodness.
would you rather. So for this would you rather, we're going to be mixing in two different sports. Keeping hockey at bay because we're a hockey podcast, but it's going to be would you rather, okay?
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so for $1 million, you have two options
Okay.
to win $1 million. And you got to choose which one you're going to take. Option one is to score in an NHL season,
Mm-hmm.
okay? 82-game season. You can't get hurt. And again, you can pick your team, whoever you want to be on. For your other option is to get a hit in the MLB.
You get a hit in the MLB.
Register a hit in the MLB, which means it's got to go, not an error. You can't get off an error. You can't get walked.
Yeah.
You're taking yourself, and you got to go tomorrow. And you can train in the off season. You'll get the start of the NHL season, start of the MLB season next year.
Mm-hmm.
Get $1 million if you can get a hit, or if you can score a goal in the NHL.
Yeah.
Full season for both. Which one are you taking?
I can't get cut
Nope.
off either roster because I'm getting cut off either roster. If I can't get cut off either roster,
Yeah.
Is my team in the MLB good?
Yes, but remember, hitting in the MLB is
Hear me out here.
Okay.
Are we good at batting or are we good defensively? Do we have a stocked bullpen? Like just a stacked bullpen?
Yeah.
Or do we have the best hitters in the league?
You're on the Dodgers.
I'm on the Dodgers, so I have Shohei Ohtani.
Yep.
I have all those guys, Mookie Betts.
Yeah. You don't have to. You can play DH too, which I know kind of messes up with Shohei, but
No, I don't need to play DH, and I'll tell you why.
okay.
There is a growing trend in the MLB of when games start to get out of hand, they put a position player in and they pitch like 40 miles an hour, right?
I see. Yeah.
I'm not hitting, if it's like an actual game, if I have to actually hit like a fastball or any pitch
whole season.
in the MLB,
Okay.
there is no shot that I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers are very good, right? They're very good at batting.
Yeah.
I could see a game where it's, 15-0 in the fifth inning.
You're playing the A's.
Right, playing the A's, playing the White Sox, someone like that, right? I think the Tigers are really bad this year. No, the Tigers are good. Never mind. Either way, playing some just fucking awful team, the Colorado Rockies. There we go.
Yeah.
And score gets out of hand, and they're just putting a position player in to finish up the game because they don't want to tire out any of the pitchers. I could see myself getting like a hit that somehow gets into play in that kind of situation. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm not doing either one, frankly. I'm not scoring a goal in the NHL.
Yeah.
There's zero shot. I play goalie, right? Do empty netters count?
Yeah, we'll count them.
Does the team know that I'm trying to get $1 million if I score a goal?
Yes, both teams know.
Both teams know.
Both leagues know that you are trying to get $1 million.
Oh, both leagues.
The MLB knows and the NHL knows. Whatever you pick, that means that they're probably not going to put those position players out there for you. They could be nice. I mean, again, baseball's payroll, $1 million is what Shohei Ohtani farts, frankly.
Yeah.
And both teams know, both leagues know that you are trying to get $1 million. So whoever you pick, they're going to be on your ass.
That's such a tough question. I'm not doing either.
Which one do you have more confidence in that you could be like, okay, this is $1 million. I get $1 million tax free.
So here's the tricky thing. Do I get to pick what line I'm on if I choose the NHL?
I think...
Or does the coach just throw me out there on the fourth line?
Yeah, because, I mean, you're not going to get if you play in fourth line minutes, you're not going to get...
I'm not going to get it regardless. I'm not getting a hit regardless. If there's a position player pitching, I'm still not hitting off a position player.
Right, because the defense, yeah. I mean, I think if someone lobs you a 40-mile-an-hour little fastball, if they want to
I might be able to put it in play.
I think you could.
Even if I put it, I could put it in play, I'm still going to get thrown out.
Right. But again, you have the whole season to train. You're going to get batting practice.
Does bunting count?
Bunting does not count.
Fuck.
And even if it did, you're not fast enough. I'm sorry.
Probably
to outrun. And they're going to know if you're going to try to bunt, they're going to know that you're laying down a bunt and they're going to be right next to you. Close as the third baseman can.
Shit.
And they're going to throw you out.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably scoring a goal in the NHL just to play an NHL season.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not doing either, frankly.
Yeah.
Even if they put a position player in and bunting's allowed, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not putting the ball in play.
Yeah, that's
realistic. Even with a year of practice.
Yeah.
With 162 games plus, practices, batting practice, off-season training. I'm still not doing it.
Okay. Okay, what if I change this? And this is more for everyone watching. If you play either hockey or baseball, whatever sport you don't play gets boosted to $1 billion. So for you, hockey's $1 million, but to get a hit in the MLB is now $1 billion because you don't play baseball. And for anyone watching, if you play baseball but don't play hockey, again, hockey's $1 billion, MLB's $1 million.
I still think I'm taking hockey, frankly. I think there's zero shot that I can't even. I never played baseball growing up.
Okay.
It's not like I played in high school.
Yeah.
Or something. I have some sort of fundamental understanding.
I got nothing. I got wiffle ball.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
The last time I played wiffle ball, I got hit in the face by Zach. I do not think, even with a position player pitching 44 miles an hour, I still don't think I'm getting close to
swinging a wooden bat.
Yeah, swinging a wood bat. It's just not going to happen. And also, I could choose what team I play for. I could get Sharks jersey with my name on it.
True.
Right, that I actually played.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick. I think I'd probably do that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, anyone, whatever sport you play, I feel like you'd pick that one.
Yeah.
But that $1 billion is tempting because personally, my ego would love to try to play baseball and get a hit. And to think you know what? I mean, if I had the whole year, you get live batting practices at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't register a hit until, again, if I'm not going to get a hit. But it could be easier. I mean, either way, I feel like I'd have a better of a chance in the NHL because I can play hockey somewhat.
I feel like there's more throwaway games in baseball, though.
Right.
That, you're 100 games into the season. You're facing a team that's they're 20 games back of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Wild card spot. And they're just trying to get through the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Rockies this year.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more opportunity for somebody to just, fuck it, this guy gets $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, to get a hit in baseball, you have to connect with, even if, you have to connect with a ball enough to get it into the outfield.
Yeah. Can't ground out.
Minimum. You can't ground out. You can't.
There's no errors.
If it was just making contact, sure.
Yeah.
I could probably foul off a ball in, 162, you get 3-4 at bats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad at math, but it's probably going to be 3 pitches at bat.
Yeah.
But so I'm swinging everything. It's just, I don't think there's a realistic possibility. I feel like you'd probably start getting walked because guys know they can throw you out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think there's a realistic possibility of me doing that.
Okay.
In the NHL, I at least understand the game. I might not be able to keep up, but end of the game, if I somehow find myself out there with an empty net,
mm-hmm.
I can shoot a puck from half ice and put it in an empty net.
Okay. I got another one.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
All right. Okay. Same stipulations. We'll do the $1 million one. We've kind of done this. $1 million. You have 10 chances to stop Patrick Kane in a shootout for $1 million. For $1 billion, you have to lock down Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been Angel Reese.
Nope, Caitlin Clark.
I don't have to lock her down.
Yeah,
he's going to miss.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
$1 billion.
How tall is Caitlin Clark?
Oh, I can look it up. I think she's
pretty tall, right?
maybe 6 foot. You're taller than her. It's $1 billion.
Caitlin Clark is getting locked the fuck down. 0 shots she's scoring on me.
Okay.
Do I have to then put or is it like a 1v1?
Yeah. You got to make one stop. And if she like misses a layup, it doesn't count because you didn't lock her down.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm doing that. Absolutely.
You just got to keep her in front of you and she's got to miss her
I'm
shot.
pretty athletic. White boy can jump.
This white boy can jump.
We gotta find like a BSU women's basketball player at 1v1, see if I can lock her down.
I would love to see that because you would not get a single.
Probably not.
Personally, I think Caitlin Clark's going to toast your ass.
I'm sure she would.
Angel Reese is 6'3".
I don't care.
Angel Reese, anyone could lock down.
Yeah, she can't hoop.
She
I don't
can't
know how
score.
she's in the WNBA.
Yeah, I don't either.
This is not a knock on WNBA players.
No, they're all great. That's why
They're all great.
I think most of the WNBA would cook your ass. I don't think Caitlin Clark would cook your ass.
I actually
Or
grew up playing
Angel Reese,
basketball,
sorry.
though.
True.
And defense was the only thing I was actually pretty decent at. Defensive rebounding, right?
Yeah.
For those watching, I was 6'4", and when I was 12, I was like 6'3" when I was like 12. So I was really good when I was younger because I was 6'3" and everybody
Yeah.
else was 4'10".
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's $1 billion.
Patrick Kane is Patrick Kane, and it's $1 billion. I'm not saving a cig. I grew up playing goalie too. I
Right.
played
That's why
goalie in hockey for 15 years
Mm-hmm.
going on, longer than 15 years. And I still have 0 chance of ever saving a shootout shot for Patrick Kane. It's fucking Patrick Kane.
Right.
I genuinely think I have a better opportunity of locking down Caitlin Clark. Especially, she's a shooter, right?
Yeah.
She's not really driving the paint.
She will on you.
She will on me, but she's not driving the paint in actual games, right? That's not
Right,
what she's
yeah.
there for.
True.
She gets buckets.
Yeah.
So I think I got a better opportunity at that.
And it's $1
Taller
billion.
than- I got height. I got reach.
It's $1 billion.
It's $1 billion.
And all you got to hope, like, if you can get a good contested shot on her, if she takes your ankles and she misses the shot, does not count as locking her down. You have to, like, have a hand in her face as she's shooting.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. I'm blocking the shit out of
One.
one.
We'll
One
give
single one. How many
10
opportunities do I have?
10. You get 10 attempts
Yeah, I'm
attempts
taking
for
that.
both.
I'm fucking taking that.
Okay.
WNBA fans are going to be all over us if we post this, but
I am. That's the whole point. I kind of want to see some.
start some beef with another league.
Yeah. No, I'm tired of punching down on like Oilers fans or
Yeah.
Toronto fans. Like, we got to stick together as hockey fans to know.
And make fun of the WNBA. Slim Pickens out here.
Yeah, Slim Pickens. But Caitlin Clark, like,
I'm a Caitlin Clark fan too.
no, me too.
She's
yeah.
good.
She's awesome.
WNBA players are smoking me, frankly. I'm not doing either one of these. It's $1 billion.
$1 billion.
I'm going to be confident that I'm going to lock her down. I'm not locking her down, but
But like, I mean,
but I'm going to try.
yeah, I'm gonna try and like, you have the reach on her. Or do you know your wingspan?
I'm sure I have reach on her. I don't know my wingspan.
Yeah. Well,
I got long arms.
yeah. I mean, you've got height on her,
Yeah.
so you got that.
I am pretty athletic.
Yeah. Except for you throw up after barely eating pizza.
I got to survive for 10 minutes. 10 chances.
Yeah. 10
10
attempts.
paint drives. I got to survive.
And
Is
she
she
gets-
shooting threes too?
Yeah, she could be pulling up. She could be stepping back. She could be crossing you up.
I might have to rethink this.
Yeah. She's not just like coming down, like she's going hard. She's got to prove to herself too, because she's a woman and she's got to prove to your ass that like she can.
The real question I'm asking, or you're asking me here, is: do I think I could play in the WNBA, right? Because
True,
she's
'cause if you could
she's
lock her
torching
down-
the WNBA.
If you could lock her down.
There are professional women basketball players that cannot lock Caitlin Clark down that are
True.
taller than me, that are more athletic than me.
Right. But this is a 1v1 situation. It's not a full game. You're not going to
She's
be
going
put
to be
in
using
the WNBA.
in WNBA. She's going to be using screens, right?
True.
Pick and roll, shit like that.
Yeah.
I think I still got to take it. It's $1 billion.
So she starts at half court. She could just pull up on your ass.
She probably will pull up on my ass from 40 feet. There's nothing I'm going to do about it.
Yeah.
It's buckets.
Yeah. She won't do that every time, but she might. She might do it twice out of 10. But still, I mean, 10 opportunities and like
Patrick Kane could take 10 slap shots from the point, and I'm not saving a single one.
I think
Like,
but like
Patrick fucking Kane.
shootout Patrick Kane is not like
It's unfair.
yeah.
He torched the best goalies in the NHL. He still torches the best goalies in the NHL. I'm not the best goalie in the NHL. I'm far from it.
Yeah.
There's no shot
Yeah.
of me doing that.
I feel like for me as a player, I just switch out the like I would be shooting against who's a great goalie in the shootout. And frankly, a lot of them are, but
Linus Ullmark is one of the best percentage-wise. Andrei Vasilevsky is
he's
like
big, too.
insane.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the best. Oh God, I looked this up 2 weeks ago and I was trying to figure out a question. I forget. There's one guy who stopped like 80% of shootout shots. It's like the best
Yeah.
in history.
Yeah.
But he only played in like 11 shootouts. Right, Vasilevsky's played in like 40 shootouts,
Yeah.
and he's at like 75% save percentage, like which is nuts for an NHL goalie.
Mhm.
And I think that question's even harder
Yeah.
because this might be a stupid statement. I think it's harder to score a goal in the shootout than it is to save one.
No,
And
yeah.
The best
Yeah.
percentages,
Well, that's the thing. Like
all time.
Patrick Kane's an anomaly in shootouts,
and he
for the
scores
most part.
50%.
Right.
40. It's not even 50. It's like 47%.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Taves is the highest of all time, or maybe he has the most shootout goals. No, it's Patrick Kane has the most shootout goals. I don't know. I just don't think I'm saving a shot from Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
And
It's
$1 billion is $1 billion.
Yeah. Why
right?
not try?
Basketball is the easiest of the big four American sports to play, right? Especially defense. If you are semi-athletic,
True. Yeah.
you're going to be fine. I'm tall and I'm athletic.
Yeah.
Maybe one. I can get a finger on the ball. That's the thing.
Okay.
If I somehow I could mistake my way into that. I really can't mistake myself into saving a Patrick Kane shootout shot.
Right.
Unless he severely messes up.
Yeah.
Which Patrick Kane doesn't do. He just doesn't fucking do.
Yeah. And they're not going to mess up because they're trying to
Yeah.
prove you wrong.
I could get a finger that grazes the ball and she shoots wide or, just shoots a brick, hits the rim.
Yeah.
I got a finger on it. I locked it down.
Right. That's the thing.
I think that's more likely than me saving a shootout shot for Patrick Kane.
That's the thing. If you hand in the face and she shoots and misses, that's a stop for you. But if she drops you and she misses it.
If this is Steph Curry, this is a wildly different question.
Yeah, I was going to do Kyrie Irving.
That's a wildly different question.
Yeah. Like, again, no shade to Caitlin Clark, but
Trucks
it's
dudes are
Kyrie
like
Irving.
6'8",
Yeah.
270.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's my height. He's
Yeah.
my size.
Yeah.
Well, my height. Way bigger than me.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why I kind of, and we've had this debate that Allen could stop, not Caitlin Clark, but like a D2, D3.
Paige Buchers, you're done.
She's 6 foot. Yeah.
No, she's done. What are other WNBA players? I don't know.
I just hope she backs me down. Sorry.
Not WNBA players. Oh my god.
Never mind.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways. Okay. Well, yeah, that was my game. What time are we at? Okay. How was your week?
It was good. What did I do?
We went to Hardy
Worked. We went to Hardy.
on Friday.
That was a great concert.
Great concert.
Fun time. I think Coetzel is actually better than Hardy.
I agree.
I enjoyed Coetzel more.
Yeah.
Although I enjoy Coetzel's music more.
Yeah.
So that might be. I love Hardy too, but
Yeah, and he like when someone opens, like they have the full production.
Yeah.
They have all the fire. They have all the.
yeah.
It's their concert and like you're kind of opening, just playing your music.
I thought it was sick. He played for like an hour.
Yeah.
He played for a long ass time for an opener, which
He did like 2 encores, I felt like.
Yeah.
He like disappeared and then came back, disappeared, came back.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
He's awesome. So was Hardy. Hardy was awesome too.
Yeah.
He was better than I was expecting him to be live. I thought it was going to be kind of like a Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan type of concert where he's like, he can't really hit the notes.
No, he's a great singer.
But no, he was fine.
Yeah.
What else did I do? Went to a wedding yesterday. No, 2 days ago.
Nice.
On Saturday. That was super fun. One of my coworkers got married. Brought my girlfriend. It was a good time. It was super hot outside though. It was up in Emmett and it was an outdoor wedding.
Was it at?
And it was Saturday. It was 97 degrees outside.
Wait, was it like at a barn?
No, it was at, so Kelly, Paul's new wife, former fiance.
Former fiance.
Her parents own some property up in Emmett.
Got it. Okay.
They have this big ass place with a bunch of land around it, and the wedding was just done in her backyard. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Zuch got married in Emmett too.
In a barn?
Kind of. It was like a barnish, like.
Because one of my other coworkers, Corbin, got married last year, and they did it at I forget what it's called, the White Barn, but that's in Nampa.
Oh yeah, no, this is in Emmett.
That was pretty too.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful wedding. It was a great time.
Yeah.
I love Paul. Shout out to Paul and Kelly. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Your wedding was awesome. But
Yeah.
it was super fun. What about you? Besides the concert.
Yeah, concert was fun. That drunk guy was something else.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. One of our friends got insanely drunk.
I don't know about friends. I don't know the guy. I couldn't even tell you his name.
Yeah. I'm not going to name his name for embarrassing purposes.
He kept spitting on me. He walked up and he was talking to me. He was like slurring all his words. And he kept spitting on me. I'm like, dude, I'm drunk too. Relax.
No, so I at one point, it was like middle of Hardy's set and I had to go to the bathroom because it was just like, you know when it gets hot and you've been drinking.
Yeah.
And it just like, you just feel so exhausted and sick and nauseous. And I just had to go sit down. And I was like, I'm going to go to the porta potty and I'm just going to like sit down for a minute. So I sit down in the porta potty, come out. It's like a 5-minute sit down just to cool off and just reset. I come back out and I'm like, geez, I'm really drunk. And I sit down next to this kid and he starts talking to me and I was like, I am not that drunk. I'm fine. I'm pretty sober, actually. Now that I think about it, like it cured me immediately. But you know what? We've all been there at some point. I've definitely been there at a concert. One of my first ones being 21. I got like that, and he had to get escorted out by one of our friends. But
when I saw
didn't have that.
When I saw Jason Aldean at Shoreline, I think it was 2021 or 2022.
Yeah, I
was hammered. Threw up on the staircase at Shoreline.
Shocker.
Sorry, Shoreline employees, if you're watching this. It was bad.
Yeah.
And so I think everybody's been there, especially at a country concert when it's outdoors, it's summertime, it's hot.
Yeah.
You drink a lot because you're like, oh, I'm thirsty. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm thirsty. And you get some liquid in my system, and then you're just drinking straight beer for 4 hours. That was a long concert too.
It was, yeah.
He saw most of it.
Yeah,
he did stick through most of it.
Yeah,
I remember one time me and my buddy AJ we were like, I forget, we were probably singing or whatever. We look over and kids just like sprawled out on the ground. It's like, what on earth is going on over there?
It was hilarious. But yeah, again, we've all been there. But what was I gonna say? Oh, Tim was funny to watch. Our teammate, on the hockey team.
He fucked up Tim's thumb real bad.
Yes, he did. He started bleeding.
Tim's thumb was he cut his finger open on a beer can, and it was like pretty big cut. It was gushing too. Yeah. And it finally stopped bleeding for a minute, and then the guy comes over and he like grabs his thumb for some reason, and he just starts profusely bleeding again.
He's like, "Oh shit!"
It was so funny.
Yeah. No, that was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Great time. And then Saturday, I spent a lot of time just inside because it was hot, and I was watching. What did I watch? I watched Killers of the Flower Moon. It's a new movie.
Interesting.
Kind of new. But yeah, I just watched some movies and stayed inside. And then yesterday, I had to buy a suit yesterday.
Oh, what for?
There's a wedding this weekend.
Nice.
I don't own a suit. And for Zuch's wedding, I had a tux that I got rented.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to buy anything. So I needed to go out. I got it at Dillard's. Shout out to Dillard's. It was like $250 for the suit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a gray suit. Dude, I look like a fucking
mafia boss.
Yeah. Like I kind of am excited to wear it because it's like, it's just like a pure gray suit and I got a black dress shirt I'm wearing.
I don't know if you saw on Brandon's graduation post,
I
I commented, you guys look really Italian.
Yeah. Anytime you just get us in a suit, I guess.
Sean's dad, for those of you who don't know, shout out to John. He looks very Italian.
He had keep going.
He had the slick back hair going. Sean had his slick back hair going, and then Brandon looks like Brandon.
Yeah.
They looked very Italian. It was awesome.
See if I can pull. Yeah, he's got
It was awesome.
I think it's a t-shirt and the undershirt. It's the
yeah. It's the button down with the undershirt going. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's funny, but yeah, the suit it was weird. I feel like it's my age showing that I have a suit.
Yeah.
I feel like for the longest time I've never really had anything
I've
had
had a suit for a while because of hockey.
Right. I didn't play when we had to wear suits. Like
Fair.
we always wore the Bauer.
We had, because for junior sharks, the older ages, you had to wear a suit. And then in San Jose State, we had to wear a suit. Ended up wearing that suit to the juniors camps I went to.
Yeah.
So it was just, I had one. I haven't put it on in years.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you if the coat still fits me. Probably not.
Yeah.
I've grown a little. But, no, that's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Who's wedding?
Lindsay and Kevin.
Oh, are they getting married up here?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going down to Texas?
No, they're here. Because
they're in Texas, right?
They live in Texas, yes.
Okay.
But Kevin's family's in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Her family's here, so it's like a nice central spot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That's awesome.
But again, I'm not in this wedding, so it's going to be a lot less chaotic.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous.
That's awesome.
But hopefully there's some pretty ladies that see me in my fine suit. Which, like, honestly, when I went downtown after Zuch's wedding in a full tuxedo, I felt like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know when Spider-Man 3, when he has the Venom suit on, and he's just like, oh my God. Like, that's how I felt, because I was just like, I don't know. There's something about wearing a suit. Barney Stinson was onto something. Nothing suits me like a suit.
This is what I wore at the wedding.
Nice.
Little pink button-down T-shirt and some shorts. I felt a little weird showing up in shorts to a wedding.
Yeah, it was.
But it was outdoors and it was 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was not the only person there in shorts.
Okay.
There were a lot of other people wearing shorts.
That's what scared me. Like,
it's like, thank goodness.
Yeah, at Zuch's, like, everyone, I don't think anyone was really wearing shorts. Maybe like no. Everyone was like wearing nice shit. So I was like, I don't know what to expect out of this one.
Yeah.
I know Zach Voice is wearing a suit. So I was like, well, I don't want to be a douche and just like show up without it.
You don't want to be that guy.
It's also indoors for, like, the ceremony's outside, but everything's indoors. So
it was funny. One of our old coworkers, Colby, he actually showed up, which was awesome. He lives in Oregon now.
Yeah.
Where is he at? I don't remember where exactly in Oregon. Somewhere in Oregon, he moved back, and then he's shipping off to Texas for the Navy next month.
Mm-hmm.
Navy? Yeah, Navy. He's doing like boot camp next month. So he was coming back by to visit and showed up for Paul's wedding.
Yeah.
And he wore a T-shirt and jeans, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a little too risky. At least if I was like buttoned down, had the, khaki shorts on. But he just showed up in a T-shirt and jeans. I thought that was hilarious. But Paul and Kelly, they're awesome. They don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's our life. We'll keep doing these because we'll do them at the end, just because I know some of you guys want to click on this for hockey and don't care about our personal life, so you can click off if you don't want to. But if you stayed, appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Be sure to subscribe. We are at
79.
79. We're one away from 80. We're trying to get to 100. which I think we can do in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing well.
3 more podcasts if this goes 7 games.
3 more podcasts. Yes, correct. And if we can get 3, 4, 5 of you guys to, even like if it's the draft and we hit 100, totally okay with that.
Then it gets into draft talk, which is always fun.
And we might sprinkle that in because if we only have a couple games to talk about.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to try to make an effort to watch. I will watch every game. Stanley Cup.
Watch
I can.
For sure.
It's going to be tough this weekend with the wedding shit, but
yeah,
yeah, it's going to be, we can do more. I think we can do more draft stuff because we'll have only the one couple games to talk about what's going on with the series, and then talking more draft stuff. We did it like almost a month ago now with who's going first, and I still don't think it's solidified that Schaefer's going first. There are some more rumblings with like trades. I know Utah talked about wanting to get rid of their 4th pick, so we'll kind of talk about that, where it could go.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone, thank you for watching. Be sure to watch that game tonight. It's at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 Pacific, which is honestly pretty late for the East Coast. 8 p.m. start is, which I get, like, you can't really do much about it because it's like you can't start at 4 on the West Coast because it's like everyone's at work. But yeah, it's a late start for those East Coast. I feel like that game wouldn't be done until almost 11 past that. But yeah, get some fun weekend planned with some good hockey. So be sure to tune that in. And yeah, anything else?
Nothing else.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.